In the tapestry of Hollywood's whirlwind romances, few tales endure with the quiet, steadfast glow of Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally's union. After more than 2 decades of shared laughter, whispered confidences, and the inevitable absurdities of life under the spotlight, Offerman remains utterly bewildered by the sheer fortune of calling Mullally his wife. At a recent premiere for his latest project, the Netflix miniseries Death by Lightning, the actor opened up with his signature blend of self-deprecating humor and heartfelt reverence, painting a portrait of marital bliss that feels both profoundly human and delightfully whimsical. Waking up each morning, Offerman confesses, is a ritual of stark contrasts. He peers into the mirror and sees what he humorously dubs, something's butthole. A rumpled, sleep-tousled visage that speaks to the unglamorous realities of middle age. Yet, turning to the woman beside him, he beholds a vision of ethereal beauty. Mullally, radiant even in repose, resembling a baby fawn designed by Pixar. It's this disparity, he jokes, that propels him into action. Hastening downstairs, he tackles the dishes with renewed vigor, a domestic knight on a quest to prove his worthiness. I do my best to get her to keep me around for another day, he quips, his voice laced with the warmth of a man who knows he's won the lottery, not once but every dawn. Their story, which began blooming in the early 2000s, is a testament to serendipity's sly hand. Offerman, then an emerging force in Chicago's improv scene, crossed paths with Mullally during a production of The Berlin Circle. She, already a Tony-nominated veteran from her Broadway stint in Grease, brought a spark of irreverent energy that captivated him instantly. What started as professional admiration blossomed into a romance fueled by mutual absurdity. They bonded over a shared love for vintage cocktails, obscure folk tunes, and the art of turning mundane moments into comedic gold. By 2003, they exchanged vows in a ceremony that mirrored their personalities. Intimate, laced with inside jokes, and overflowing with the kind of joy that defies convention. Now, at 55 and 66 respectively, Offerman marvels at the arithmetic of their endurance. I've been crunching the numbers, he reveals with a grin, and I believe she's the top level of fabulous. It's not hyperbole, Mullally's allure is legendary, a cocktail of sharp wit, vocal prowess, and an unshakable zest for life that has graced stages from Will and Grace to sold-out cabarets. Offerman's admiration isn't blind, it's appreciative, rooted in the daily dance of partnership where flaws become footnotes to affection. In his eyes, her morning glow isn't just physical, it's a beacon of the vitality that keeps their flame flickering brightly. This premiere, held amidst the velvet ropes and flashing bulbs of Los Angeles' elite, served as more than a promotional pit stop. Death by Lightning, a gripping historical drama, casts Offerman as President Chester A. Arthur, the unassuming vice president thrust into the Oval Office following James Garfield's assassination in 1881. The series, a taut exploration of power's precarious underbelly, delves into the machinations of Charles Guiteau, the deranged assassin whose delusions unraveled a nation's stability. Offerman's portrayal is a revelation. Beneath Arthur's mustache and mutton chops lies a man grappling with legacy's weight, much like the actor himself navigates fame's fickle tides. Admitting his historical blind spots, Offerman shares that Garfield's saga was all new to me. His prior brush with Guiteau came not from textbooks but from constructing the stage for Stephen Sondheim's 1990 musical Assassins, a darkly satirical lens on presidential killers. That experience, hands-on and immersive, primed him for this role's demands. The story of Garfield and Chester Arthur was a revelation, he notes, his enthusiasm bubbling over. Researching the era, poring over daguerreotypes, dissecting 19th-century rhetoric, immersed him in a world where politics was as theatrical as any improv sketch. Arthur, often dismissed as a placeholder president, emerges in the series as a figure of quiet reform, championing civil service over cronyism. Offerman infuses the character with his trademark gravitas, a blend of wry observation and moral fiber that echoes his iconic Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation. Yet, for all the period drama's pull, Offerman's heart remains tethered to pursuits far removed from scripted intrigue, the tactile joy of woodworking. His latest book, Little Woodchucks, Offerman Woodshop's Guide to Tools and Tomfoolery, is a love letter to craftsmanship, tailored for young hands eager to whittle and wonder. Illustrated with playful diagrams and peppered with puns, it guides readers through projects like birdhouses and whirligigs, emphasizing safety alongside silliness. I grew up in a family where we all learned how to make things with our hands, he explains, evoking memories of an Illinois farmstead where evenings were spent mending fences and stitching quilts. In the kitchen they baked, in the barn they built. This ethos, he insists, is an antidote to modernity's siren call. In an era dominated by screens and algorithms, Offerman decries the isolation they breed. Corporations and tech billionaires want nothing more than for all of us to go to our room, isolate ourselves and live life through our screens, he laments. His voice rises with conviction, a call to reclaim the physical world. He envisions a rebellion of the senses, fingers calloused from planing wood, voices raised in unfiltered conversation, bodies moving in clumsy, mammalian grace. I don't want any companies to do any thinking or driving for me, he declares. The iPad, for all its utility, can't replicate affection's warmth, a kiss from Mullally, a hug from kin. These, he posits, are life's true currency, the clumsy mammalian voice that sustains the soul. This philosophy permeates their marriage, a partnership where vulnerability is the ultimate strength. Offerman's morning dishwashing isn't drudgery, it's devotion, a ritual affirming his gratitude. Mullally in turn mirrors this with her effusive support, often joining him in workshops or on set, her laughter the soundtrack to his labors. Their public appearances, red carpets, podcasts, joint ventures like the bluegrass duo the Hayden/Offerman, reveal a synchronicity born of ye.